They never text you first.
You've noticed it. You wait, you wonder, and still nothing. But the moment you text them, they reply fast. Warm. Maybe even excited. And it makes you think, so why don't they ever start the conversation? Let's just say this. Not texting first isn't always about being busy. Sometimes it's about power. See, people love to act like communication is simple. If you care, you reach out. But deep down, human psychology is never that simple. Some people stay silent, not because they don't care, but because silence gives them control. It's their way of saying, "You'll come to me." There's a strange kind of satisfaction in that, knowing that someone's thinking about you, waiting for you, chasing your attention. They don't have to text first because they already know you will. And maybe you always do. But here's the darker part. Not everyone who doesn't text first is a manipulator. Some are just tired. Tired of being the one who always starts? Tired of one-sided effort disguised as connection. So they pull back, not out of arrogance, but out of quiet self-preservation. They've learned that whoever wants them will reach out. And if nobody does, they'll take the silence as truth. That's the cruel beauty of human psychology. Silence reveals what words hide. Some people don't text first because they've already been burned by trying too hard. They used to double text. They used to over-explain. They used to check if they said something wrong. And eventually, they realized the person who truly wants to talk to you doesn't need reminding. So now, they stay quiet. And that quietness, ironically, makes them more mysterious. Because people start wondering, what are they thinking? Why so distant? The truth? They're not distant. They're just done playing games in a world that rewards indifference. Psychologically, this behavior is rooted in what's called avoidant attachment. These are the people who crave closeness but fear it at the same time. They want connection, but on their own terms. Where they don't risk rejection, where they don't have to expose their emotions first. So they wait. They observe. And they let others make the first move, so they can stay safe behind their invisible armor of calm detachment. But of course, not everyone who doesn't text first is emotionally unavailable. Some simply understand the art of silence, how it builds tension, curiosity, power. There's something hypnotic about being unpredictable. When you don't text first, you become a puzzle. And people love puzzles more than they love certainty. Certainty is comfortable. Mystery is magnetic. Think about it. We're drawn to what we can't fully understand. And those who never text first, they become that mystery. They live rent-free in your mind. You replay old messages. Check if they viewed your story. Make excuses for them. Maybe they're just busy. Maybe they don't know what to say. Or the classic, maybe they're shy. But deep down, a part of you knows. If they really wanted to talk to you, they would. Right? Maybe. Or maybe they're thinking the same thing about you. Maybe it's two overthinkers staring at their phones, both waiting for a message that never comes. That's the tragedy of modern connection. Everyone's waiting, but no one's reaching. And yet, we act surprised when relationships fade, when conversations die, when people who used to talk every day become strangers who only watch each other's lives through stories. It's not a lack of feelings. It's a lack of courage. Everyone wants connection, but no one wants to risk rejection. So we hide behind silence and call it self-respect. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Sometimes that silence is self-respect. Sometimes it's the only thing protecting you from people who love your attention but not your presence. People who keep you around for the ego boost but never value the effort. So yes, some people never text first because they know exactly what happens when they do. They get ignored, taken for granted. They become the chaser instead of the mystery. And in a world obsessed with who cares less, being the one who cares more feels like a weakness. We've turned connection into a battlefield. The winner isn't the one who loves better, it's the one who texts last. We confuse emotional distance with strength. We call it playing it cool. But it's not cool. It's lonely. Still, there's a certain elegance to it. That quiet, calculated restraint. It's how some people survive the chaos of modern relationships. They build walls, decorate them with sarcasm, and call it peace. Because deep down, they've realized something painful. The less people know you care, the less they can hurt you. So they stay silent. They wait. And sometimes they're not even waiting for you. They're waiting to see if anyone notices their absence at all. And when nobody does, that silence becomes their answer. Funny, isn't it? How something as simple as not texting first can expose so much about who we are. Our fears, our pride, our need for control. We like to believe it's about convenience or habit, but it's not. It's about power, vulnerability, and the eternal war between who cares more. Maybe that's the real reason they never text first. Because deep down, they're testing the waters, not for attention, but for truth. They want to know, would you still reach out if I stopped? Would you miss me if I disappeared? And if the answer is no, they'll stay gone.
It's tragic, really.
Two people, both wanting to connect, both too guarded to make the first move. Both pretending not to care, while secretly checking their phones at 2 a.m., hoping for a notification that never comes. Maybe that's the modern love story. Not passion and poetry, but silence and screens. People missing each other, but too afraid to show it. People waiting to be chosen, while never choosing. So the next time you find yourself wondering why they never text first, remember this. It's not always about you. Sometimes it's about the walls they built long before you arrived. Sometimes it's their pride, their fear, their exhaustion. And sometimes it's just the way they keep their hearts safe in a world that treats feelings like weaknesses. They never text you first. And maybe, just maybe, that's their quiet way of saying, if you want me, you'll have to prove it. Or worse, if you don't, I'll finally know the truth.